Hi, my name is Wilman Ziada, New York City-based director and creator of theater, television, and film, and also proud Phoenix Global Artist Ambassador. Today, I am so excited to be speaking with such an incredible artist. She is a Psych-Folk singer-songwriter, and her name, BEKAH FLY. For more on BEKAH, you can read more about her right below this video, but in the meantime, here's a sneak peek at the amazing talent of the one and only BEKAH FLY. Well, hello, BEKAH FLY. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great, and I'm so excited that the audience just got a little sneak peek of your amazing talent. And BEKAH, we were talking off camera about your upbringing. You grew up right down the block from where I live in the heart of the theater district because you have arts in your blood. Your parents both dancers, your father Broadway stage manager. Talk to me about growing up in your household.
I think it's like it was a really cool way to grow up because art seemed like, you know, the normal thing. And then like come to find out, you know, maybe not so much, but yeah, my relationship to like say pianos, my brother and I as kids, my mom would always put us like under the piano when she was teaching dance classes. So the way I view these things is maybe like more casual than people who had to like break through or like might be intimidated to play. Like everything is sort of like a toy to me, like musically or artistically. I'm like, oh, it's just like a toy in the world.
Wait, BEKAH, time out. You're so speaking my language because my favorite type of artists, I like to consider myself one, and you definitely are the artists that never lose that childlike wonder of the possibility. And I could just see little BEKAH FLY underneath the piano, looking at the feet moving and just being like, oh, this is just mom at the office.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
BEKAH, what I also love so much and where you grew up in Manhattan Plaza, it is the home of so many famous artists. So I could just imagine you growing up, going to elementary school, high school, and just like walking past, you know, oh, you know, that's just a Broadway star who's won, you know, 50 Tony Awards.
Yeah, I feel like New York is, and New Yorkers famously like don't care. Like we're all.
Well, BEKAH, it's so cool that you mentioned that because I've spoken with some people who are in LA. They're like, oh, movie. I'm like, New York. Like, for example, I live in a building. Well, I actually won't say who lives here because I might get in trouble. Let's just say a multiple Academy Award winner lives 2 floors up. No one cares. They're people.
Still gonna be like making, you know, upset about your noise or your whatever about that, or you get along or what. I mean, they're just like your neighbor.
Exactly. And BEKAH, I want to know what has inspired you because you're such an amazing Psych-Folk singer-songwriter. What was there an aha moment for you or an experience for you that made you realize that this was the type of art you wanted to create?
Definitely it was like a life-saving situation. Like it was like I felt, you know, that this will be the thing that will save my life. You know, making art and music also. Particularly, I started taking music more seriously because I became like chronically ill. So I started singing like all the time. I think sort of like to heal myself, to heal my body and my mind, and then like processing from there.
Wow, BEKAH, that's, well, first of all, thank you for sharing that and being vulnerable and sharing that. And You know, I have spoken with some artists about the power of music and the power of singing, that there's something that goes on within not only the psyche, but the molecules and the fibers and the connective tissue within our mind, body, and soul when one sings. I want to know, Becca, when you sing, what do you feel?
Well, I sing. I feel like I use singing a lot as a blues catharsis. So I'm usually singing to either like self-soothe or to, I mean, like, you know, share, eventually sharing with people, but originally for like self-soothing and also to just get out my feelings like of anger, sadness, or even, you know, happy feeling, just like to sort of have a way to like get it out through my body.
When I think of you, Becca, in my research of you, is you're, and just even speaking with you, you're truly a vessel. Like, you ever meet those people on earth where you're like, you were meant to be an artist? Like, you were born as a vessel of art, and with a capital A. And not just music. One of my first questions that I just wanted to get to ask you was, what other art inspires you? Because I can only imagine that you are constantly inspired 24/7.
Yeah. Well, I mean I do a lot of painting and, you know, visual art I do as well. So I mean I feel really inspired by sort of every anything that evokes, you know, an emotional response, like a beautiful cloud, or like, you know, when growing up in New York, a lot of the time it was like, you know, just taking the subway, like that would be, you know, you just have to just get on the train and then boom, like you got like, you know, five heartbreaks and like the keys to God or whatever. It's like, you know.
Becca, we would be friends so fast if you still live down the block. Listen, I want to know about the name Becka Fly.
Mhm.
How did you come up with that name?
Oh, well, my name, you know, my first name, Becca, is just like my parents gave me that. And then my friend, when I was a teenager, used to like kind of like friendly tease me, like as a nickname, just call me Becca Fly. And I was like, oh, I like that. Like, oh, I'll use that.
It's so beautiful. And I want to know, with the type of music that you put out, Becca, it just seems like the perfect time for people, if they don't know who you are, to get to know you. Because if there's anything we all have gone through as a collective human race, it's a trauma. There's something
Mhm.
very healing about your music. A, have you been told that before? And B, have you used this time to look within to create? Have you been inspired to create?
Um, I mean, one, yes, definitely. I've been told that people feel like, you know, soothed by my, you know, music. And I actually, I won't get into it too much. I won't get into it maybe at all here, but I work with some like, you know, scientific DNA sound healing machines for my autoimmune conditions. So the way that I view sound and frequency, like there's like a science aspect of my mind where I'm like, oh, sound healing is definitely a thing. I mean, the military uses, you know, sound weaponry openly. Well, sound healing is, you know, the equal opposite. Oh, a train is coming by.
It's okay. Literally, as the train goes by you, do you hear the sirens by me? They're having a conversation, but this is what I love about these interviews. And I'm speaking, look, hello. But look it, that's a sign that no matter where we are, we're gonna just keep going. And I think you're a great representation of that, Becca. Throughout any sort of noise that you may have been dealt with in your life, you have moved through it. And you've moved through it with grace and with your artistry. And I'm curious to know, in looking ahead, what you're most looking forward to continuing your artistic journey. Because I do want to mention one thing, and I know you don't want to go into it, but I know a little bit about the power of soundscape and, you know, the scientific
Yeah. Yeah.
nuances and nooks and crannies about it. But I am so happy you're doing that, because I don't think enough artists, A, are doing it, but also B, it's literally healed you and continues to heal you. So you're going to use it now as an opportunity to heal others. I think that is so great.
Yeah, I love.
That was just me on my soapbox. Becca, you're probably like, Will, are you going to ask me another question?
I'm like, yay.
Becca, I could speak with you forever, but I have a question for you that I've been thinking about since the beginning of this interview. Go back to that little girl underneath your mom as she plays piano for dance classes. What would you tell that little girl now?
I'd just be like, you know, I mean, I'd just be like, I love you. I'd probably be like, here's a juice box. I mean, I want to mention, you had asked me what I look forward to. I'm really looking for other musicians who are synesthetic, because that is a large part of my process. Being a synesthetic musician, so that sound and color aren't separate for me. I had a band a while back where my partner at the time was also synesthetic, and it was really great to relate that way. So I'm curious. I have in my mind, I have a future memory that I focus on where I'm like, oh, I want to have a band with a bunch of synesthetic people. We'll call it Sound is Color. And I'll like do future memories with this band. So I'm trying to manifest that.
I'm going to manifest that for you too, because I'll listen, Becca. What I love so much about what this FENIX platform is going to do for artists is that it's going to connect them with like-minded potential collaborators. And I will tell you, before this thing has even launched, the hard launch is going to be next month in October. Little old Will on 57th Street, through interviews. I've already started collaborations with people in Japan, China, Australia, Los Angeles, Canada, Boston, and right here in New York, based upon these types of interviews. So I keep thinking, if this, then what? If I'm meeting people just through interviewing, I can't wait for this app when it comes out for BEKAH FLY to meet the types of musicians to create that band that you see in your head. And I'm telling you, it's gonna happen.
I feel it. I'm excited.
Well, Becca, God bless you. I could speak with you forever. I just want to let our audience know. For more on the incredible BEKAH FLY, you can read more about her right below this video. Becca, thank you for your time today.
Thanks so much.